Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of my live tea tasting. I've got an exciting tea for you guys today, so I'm going to go ahead and start this water because I am raring to go. Oh, there we go. Still getting used to that little machine. So tonight's tea is going to kick off the one of my favorite seasons for tea, fall teas. Yeah, that that was a little. I lost my train of thought here, but tonight I'm doing Apple of My Pie, which is an old-time favorite. This is actually an Adagio specific blend that they made. This was years ago. It was actually one of the first the first employee blends that I tasted, and let me tell you, this got me hooked. Hey Ma, welcome. So this one, I don't know who did it actually. Oh, it was Sarah. Sarah, I don't know who she is. This must have been before my time, but this is one of the teas that first got me hooked. Like it was incredible. It's been a very, very long time since I had it, and in my opinion, it's been too long. Oh, so let's see if it's changed any from what I remember. Oh, that is incredible. Oh my god, I have missed this. This tastes like apple cider. Welcome, Morgan, welcome. So, oh my god, this brings back so many memories. I remember when I first drank this, like, so long ago. This was one of the first times that I actually got the idea that, that teas can taste like something other than tea. You know, and like this was exciting for me. But before I get too far into that, I'm going to talk about what's in it. This is it's got apple pieces, vanilla rooibos, cinnamon caramel black tea, vanilla oolong, and almond oolong. Now I can speak from experience that vanilla and almond oolong go very well together. Not just in this tea, but I've put it together a couple times. Oh, it's incredible. So I'm going to go ahead and put some in here. I'm going to go a little bit strong, like I usually do. Oh my god, it smells incredible. Like it smells like apple pie, and you know that's what it was meant for. But you get this kind of this aroma like it's freshly baked. I'm going to show you guys what it looks like right now. There we go. So you can see the colors are very earthy. There's a lot of yellows and browns. See that big chunk right here? I don't want to cover it too much. That's a nice big piece of cinnamon bark right there. So you know it's going to have a really good, a really nice spice to it. You got the big yellow chunks, which is apple pieces. I'm trying to get it so that it doesn't, blur too much. So you see there's three different colored leaves. The really dark one is going to be the caramel, the caramel black. Then you have the lighter brown, which is it's going to be the oolong. I don't know if it's the vanilla or the almond, since they're both very similar in color and texture. But then you see like the smaller orangey, yellowy, reddish colors. That's the vanilla rooibos. The vanilla rooibos is always going to be the short leaf. And sometimes you have to be careful when you brew rooibos in something like this in a basket, because it can leak through the basket, and it's not a bad thing. It's just a warning if people have like texture issues. It could be a little bit alarming. But yeah, like rooibos for me is one of my favorites. I drink it all the time. When I don't need caffeine, that is, because God knows there's some days that I just have to have it. But yeah, rooibos is not caffeinated. It's the only one in this blend that isn't caffeinated. You have the black tea and the oolong, which are both caffeinated. So I'm looking at not a highly caffeinated tea, but it's going to be moderate. And it looks like my water is ready. I'm going to go ahead and pour some of this in. Oh my god, like even the steam is coming up into my glasses and it's carrying the aroma with it. And that just gives it like this really nice, warm, fresh baked apple pie kind of thing going to it. Oh my god, this is incredible. I might have gotten a little ahead of myself and put too much water in it. You tell me. You think that's enough water? Yeah, I might have overdone it a little bit, but you know, who cares, right? I think in my experience, there's no such thing as too much tea. So, this is a blessing in disguise. I might have made a little bit of a mess, or it's going to be a little bit messy when I pull out the basket, but I'm prepared. Oh my god! So, I'm going to talk a little bit about the blend itself. It's very curious because generally you can steep black tea and rooibos together, you know, for a lot of the time. It's going to be very similar because black tea is a very strong leaf, so it can withstand the. Ooh, speaking of time, I'm going to put it on 4 minutes because I kind of messed up there. Forgot to set my timer. So black tea is a very strong leaf. You can keep it at full 212 degrees with no problem as long as you watch the time. Herbal teas like rooibos can stay there just as long, even longer. So I don't have to worry about the repercussion of oversteeping. The only thing is, for this particular tea, you have 2 oolongs in there, and that's going to pretty much match the 2 other teas, the black and the rooibos, which kind of cancels out the oh, excuse me, the timing a little bit. Generally, when you do an oolong, you'll want to keep it around. Well, me personally, I still do it at the full 212 degrees, but I usually steep it for about 3 minutes, maybe 3.5. But I'm kind of betting myself a little bit here. I'm going to keep it on for the full 5 minutes, only because I know that vanilla oolong and almond oolong both have really strong flavors, so it'll cover up a little bit of the bitterness that you would get from oversteeping. In this case, it's not just the 2 oolongs, but you also have the apple, the cinnamon. Is there anything else in there? Nope, it's just the apple and the cinnamon that's going to give it it's going to mask a lot of the flavor. So this kind of tea you can afford to be a little bit reckless with, so to speak. But yeah, so I'm excited for this to go, because this is going to be a blast from the past, basically. Literally, this was the first employee blend that I tried, and it helped usher me into the world of tea, because, like I said earlier, tea doesn't always have to taste like tea. It could taste like whatever it is that it's designed to. They actually do, and I'd love to do this one day, they have a tea over there that tastes like root beer. And, you know, it's I wish I was able to, like, send you guys the link to buy it online, but unfortunately, since it's an employee blend, it's only at the State Street store. So when I do eventually stream it, I'll talk all about it then. It's a very interesting blend, though. If I remember correctly, it uses licorice root for the root beer flavor. So that I'd never really liked black licorice. To me, it's always tasted kind of like bitter and I don't know, like kind of like burnt rubber kind of sensation. But It fits well when it's just the root on the in the tea. So I'll talk more about that some other time. Whoops, I have to. No, there we go. I only have a little bit of water left, and for some reason I had forgotten to turn off the heat, so I don't want it to get well, for lack of a better term, burn the bottom of the. Hey, Ignacia, welcome. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm really bad at I'm really bad at reading names while I'm streaming. Oh, there goes my clock. So it's time to take the tea out. Ow, ow. Going in barehanded is not for the faint of heart. Let me tell you. Oh, and I misjudged. I misjudged the top of this mug slightly. So, yeah. Maybe next time I'll use the full-sized one. Or at least the other. I thought this might be a nice change of pace, but yeah, it's not working very well. Anyway. Now is magic time because I get to drink some of this. And let me tell you, this is some good stuff. Oh, and I'm making a little bit of a mess. But that's okay. I'll clean that up. All in due time. All I know is that what usually happens during the stream is that I stick my elbow in it. And it's so unnerving. It's like I'm going on, la la la, and all of a sudden, ooh, that is uncomfortable. Yeah. But anyway, I'm going to see if I can avoid it to the best of my ability. If not, R.I.P. my shirt. Teresa, welcome. Oh my God, this stuff is incredible. Like right now, this entire room smells like apple pie. It's got a very it's not the apple portion of it, but all the baking stuff that goes into it, and then the apple. So the apple kind of takes second tier a little bit as far as the scent is concerned, but it smells like super sweet, and this is what I really look for when I look for a tea. When I look for something sweet, I go all up. I go all out. You just took out 2 pumpkin pies from the oven? Yeah, there you go. I could definitely go for a pumpkin pie right about now, but unfortunately, I'm indisposed at the moment, but that's okay. Oh, you just put 2 pumpkin pies in. Okay, well then you'll have to send one to me after we're done, because, yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, this is kind of bothering me. I know I'm going to stick my elbow in it. Yeah, I'll just wipe it up, because I've done it so many times that. Okay. Anyway, I'm just playing it safe here. Oh my God! So actually, let me step back a little bit. This smells so much like the crust of the pie. I think that's what I was trying to say before. But this smells a lot like pie crust. And I don't know, it's been so long since I've had this that I don't know, it feels like I'm gonna be drinking this for the first time all over again, which is great for you guys because you're getting my semi-first impressions of it. But here we go. Oh, that's really good. When you taste it, you're tasting more of the apple that you don't smell. Rachel, welcome. It's been forever. We've missed you here. Tonight we're doing apple of my pie, and this is one that I wanted you to try at some point. I think we talked about it. Oh my god, this stuff is incredible. It's been a long time since I had it, so I figured I would stream it tonight, and no regrets, because this stuff is still one of the best teas I've ever had. Oh yes, it is how I remember, and it isn't. Only because when I first started drinking tea, I would sweeten it a lot. So I would put in my sugar. I wouldn't. This was like before I started using stevia. I would use a lot of sugar, and I would make this into like a hot apple cider, which, I mean, it works too. But I've changed my habits, and I've started drinking a lot more unsweetened tea. So yeah, I can taste the base of what it used to be, but not the overwhelming sweetness that I have associated with it when I first started to drink it, which is not a bad thing. My taste buds have matured, just like me. I've matured, but yeah, this is it brings back a lot of memories. Oh man, I need another sip. Sorry. Oh, this is so good, and it really hits the spot. This is like the quintessential fall tea. When you think of fall, you're going to think of earth tones. You're going to think of the weather starting to cool off, so you're going to want to have something that'll... what do you mean, did I show the tea already? How it looks before I steeped it or after? Because I did show the before. I'm not ready to show the after yet. I'm going to wait until it dries off a little bit, because it's still going to be drippy. But I don't want to spend the rest of the stream cleaning up after myself every time I do a little bit of I make a little bit of a mess. But this tea is everything that you would think of when you think of the before. Yeah, I did show the before. When you think of fall, you think of warming things up. You think of fresh baking. You think of cinnamon. You think of earth tones when you drink. A little bit of sweetness, and this is definitely one of my favorites. I'm actually kind of surprised it took a while for me to get to it, mainly because I've had so many teas that I wanted to taste for the first time in front of you guys that I kept putting it off. Oh, don't worry, you can always go back into the when I post this on YouTube and check it out. And I also have to show you guys what it looks like after. I'm just waiting for it to... Yeah, you know what? Actually, since this thing is raised, you can probably get some good light out of it. Okay, I'll show you guys what it looks like right now. It's going to be a lot different from before. There's going to be a couple things that you'll notice. Right now, thing number one is you'll see everything is a lot bigger. The water has now gotten into the leaf and expanded it. So everything is moisturized, everything is bigger, softer. I'll show some of the leaves right now. Oh, if I can do this one-handed. There we go. So I'm going to show you real quick. I might need two hands for this, so. Oh, yeah, because it's not your typical leaf. This looks like it's one of the oolong leaves. It's gotten darker, but the reason why I know it's an oolong is because it's kind of rolled. If you can see the shape of it, it has unfurled. And that's some of the... Right now it's hanging on by one of the stems. Oh, this thing is falling. Like, I'm trying so hard to open it up, but it's falling apart in my fingers. So yeah, that's not going to happen. But you'll see also the apple itself has gotten bigger. Show you guys right there. The apples are getting bigger. They've absorbed a lot of the water. So now it's got like a very spongy texture. You'll also notice that the tea as a whole looks darker. Normally that happens because of the saturation of the water. It changes the color of the leaf as it is. You'll notice it wasn't as red, it wasn't as yellow, it wasn't as bright as it was before I steeped it. Sade, welcome. I'm waiting for you to give me that that glare. I swear I'm gonna earn one of those glares one of these days. But anyway, so I'm doing apple of my pie, which is an incredible apple flavored tea that is, woof, like, I'm loving this thing. It's the spices are so vibrant, the flavors, the sweetness is bright. I'm getting like it tastes like the entire apple pie, which it's really hard to pull off. It is a wonder, but it works. It works very well. So this is the kind of tea that I would recommend whenever you want to sit back and relax, open up a book. It's the perfect time for it. Afternoon into the evening. I would say, yeah, it's right for sunset because it encompasses everything that you'll need for a nice relaxing evening. Whenever I picture drinking this, I get like this no angry looks yet. I have to work on that. I mean, this is very much a dessert tea, and when it's very versatile. I don't know. I almost said flexible, which it's flexible too, but it's a very versatile tea where you can sweeten it in 100 different ways, and it just enhances the flavor. I was actually kind of tempted to put. I have some cinnamon honey that it tastes like cereal. This honey when it's on its own, so this should really complement the cinnamon and the apple in this tea. You can actually probably use cream in it as well, and it'll bring out more of the. It'll give it more of like an a la mode kind of texture to it. Like, say, you have ice cream with your pie, classic flavor. You're not gonna complain about that. Add a little bit of cream in there, you're good to go. A little sugar, a little bit of stevia in my case, and this stuff it's great. Or even unsweetened. That's how I'm drinking it tonight, and like it tastes like pie crust, it's like, how when you bite into the pie and sometimes like some of the filling comes out and you eat the filling first and then you eat the top of the crust of the pie, and it's got like that layer. It's got a couple layers to it. You got the layer of the crust, which is the sweet vanilla-ish, like a crisp texture to it. You get like that same crisp texture to this kind of flavor, and then it cuts off, and you taste the apple on the bottom of the crust. It's the same thing with this. Like, you're getting a good mixture of both, and it's really interesting because when you think about how complicated a an apple pie is, you have so many different flavors in there. You have the vanilla, you have the flour, you have the kind of like a buttery taste to it, and then you have it's kind of separated. Then you have the apple with the cinnamon and that creamy texture, and that's, it's because you're getting full full ingredients for each one represented. In this case, you're still getting that same sensation when you drink it, but they're really, when you mix a liquid, it all mixes together. So there's no reason why it should be separate, but it does. It separates on your tongue, and it's all a matter of how it tastes when you drink it, if that makes sense. Kind of like, okay, let me backtrack a little bit, because that sounded a little funny. More like Annie, welcome. When you drink something liquid, you would imagine it all just goes around, and it mixes well, and you're going to taste everything as one whole. But in this case, if you look for each ingredient separately, you can find it, and you can taste the intensity of it all. And I think that's a huge challenge when it comes to drinking complicated teas like this. It's not just a black tea, it's not just a green tea, it's not just a rooibos, but you're getting three different teas, right? You got the the caramel black tea, the vanilla oolong, and the almond oolong. And then you have the herbal blend, the rooibos, the vanilla rooibos on top of that. Then you have the cinnamon, and I think that's it. The apples, of course, the apples. And when you mix that all together, you kind of get like a certain kind of flavor profile that it's complicated. So I'm tasting the crust parts first, which is the vanilla oolong and the caramel. Well, not really so much the caramel. The vanilla oolong, the almond oolong, and some of the cinnamon. But then the cinnamon also, excuse me. The cinnamon also goes into the apple portion. I don't know. It was hard for me to get out for some reason. I don't know. I need to loosen my tongue a little bit. But yeah, this tastes like apple cider, kind of, sort of. It has that spice to it that makes it nice and hearty, I'm gonna. What was that? I kind of lost my signal there for a minute. Am I still here, guys? Say hello if if I am. I'm having some technical issues. Let me just make sure. Yeah, it looks like I'm okay. But yeah, go ahead and say hi on the stream just to let me know that I'm still connected, because yeah, I kind of lost you guys for a second there. But anyway, like I was saying, I lost my train of thought. Oh well, yeah. Oh, that's what it was. As it cools off, I'm starting to taste the black tea a little more. It's also a little bit astringent, not too bad, but enough to be noticed. I'm getting on the back end a lot of the vanilla The vanilla oolong more than the vanilla rooibos, but the vanilla rooibos is there. I'm getting the I'm getting a slight amount of the almond oolong. I think in this case the vanilla oolong and the vanilla rooibos are basically teaming up to give it a stronger vanilla flavor, but then you get the oolong behind the almond oolong right behind it. It's a little bit harder to find, but it is noticeable. The apples, of course, are in there, but I'm not. For some reason, I'm not tasting it as much. But it is there. I don't know. Maybe it has to be colder to bring out the apple a little bit. Because normally, when you drink a colder tea, the sweetness stands out more than the bitter, than the tart. The well, not the tart. The what's the word I'm looking for? The savory. That's the word. So I'm getting a lot of the oolongs and the teas, but not so much the herbs, which the herbs and the spices, which is fine by me. I think that in a case like this, I would prefer it hot, hotter rather than cold and iced. But only because it's already cold outside, and this is the season for it. Whew, I'm starting to sweat a little bit. Like it's warming me from my core, and it's raising my body temperature slightly. And I mean, I left my fan on because I needed a nice little breeze. I knew what was going to happen tonight, and I left the door open to get a nice breeze because I didn't want to wind up sweating myself off the air. It's just like being all. Oof. Anyway, I think I've digressed a little bit too far, but cheers. Whew. Okay, so I think it's I'm gonna start. Yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm just like I'm a little bit scatterbrained at the moment. I wanted to talk a little bit about what I would pair this with. Since this is a dessert tea, I would totally go 100% with desserts on this. Because I mean it's gonna be harder to pair it with an entree without having it become overpowered or overpowering whatever it is that you're eating. Like, it's going to overpower a salad, but it's going to be overpowered by a steak. It's somewhere right in the middle. And honestly, like, maybe this would go well together with a steak as long as you sweeten it a little bit. And you'll get that kind of, not a steak, a ham. Because, you get that, actually maybe a steak too, now that I think about it. Only because you get that sweetness to it, that sweetness across from the savory. In the way that you have a ham with pineapple, I think that this would go in that same vein with the steak. Because you have like that nice strong flavor of steak when you cook it, and you get a little bit charred. This would go pretty. That will probably overpower the tea just a little bit, but I think it could be. It could still pull it off. As far as desserts are concerned, I would go with anything creamy, like ice cream, cake. I would go with like a nice vanilla or chocolate cake. Um, Apple pie, of course. I would stay away from other fruits though, um, only because you would get like this. Oh, excuse me. Only because you would get this kind of fruit feud, if that makes any sense, where anything that's like acidic, citrusy, um, anything that's gonna be like strong flavored against the apple, it's gonna be a bit of a hard sell, only because like it's not like the citrus fruit is gonna come out more than the apple. I think that, yeah, that makes a little bit more sense. So I'm gonna go ahead and pour some out. I don't know if you guys can see it, but look at that tea color. It is red bronze. I forgot to show you guys what it looks like in the pot. I mean, not the pot. The in the cup. So take a look at that. It's a very dark tea. You can see it's very foamy. And that is usually a good indicator of quality. It's just how airy it is. Texture-wise, I don't know, it's kind of creeping me out, man, because it looks like a bunch of spider eyes. I totally creeped myself out with that thought. But yeah, you can see how dark that color is. Keep in mind also that this is a blue cup, so it's not going to do the color complete justice, but it's still a light blue, so you should get some sort of idea of what it is. You can see when I get closer, it's brownish red. So there's going to be a lot of flavor in this one. It's kind of strong, and now I can't unsee the spider eyes. It's freaking me out, man. All right, I'm gonna have to drink some of these spider eyes to get it off my mind. Oh, that is perfect. That really hits the spot, you know. It goes directly to that really, really nice spot in your stomach. That when you drink it, it's like, that kind of a thing. But it's good. It's good. And I still can't unsee those spider eyes. I'm gonna pop the bubbles a little bit. I don't know why I did that to myself. I just, I don't know. I'm a weirdo. But anyway, where was I? I've lost my train of thought, as is the usual. Pairing it, yeah. I would go with maybe a cherry, like a Black Forest cake. Black Forest cake would probably do it. Something with cinnamon. I mean, like a fried ice cream. I think that actually might be perfect. I don't know if you guys have had any fried ice cream before, but when I had it was years ago in Texas. They fried it in like this cinnamon crust. It's hard to explain, but it was like this really strong cinnamon powder. So you got the cinnamon with the vanilla ice cream in it, and that did wonders. And I think that something like that would go really great with this, especially if it's cold, if it's the cold versus the hot. That makes for a good contrast. I really like doing that. Maybe I don't know how chocolate would go with this, because I mean, chocolate itself is creamy, and you're gonna have that sweetness to it. I think maybe that'll work. I don't know. We'll see. Mm. Oh, okay. So now that we answered Teresa's question that she asks every week, oof, I'm stuffed. Uh, I'm gonna go for announcements. Let me think. I don't have anything off the top of my head. We are coming close to my 100th episode. I did the math, and if we don't have any interruptions, my 100th episode will be on November 15th. So I think I know what I'm doing, but I'm still open to suggestions. You guys are free to comment. You're free to give me ideas of what to do, and yeah, well, I'll take it into consideration. I'd also love to do one last tea crawl. We had two so far over the summer, and a third one would be nice just to end everything off before we go into winter. And I know that winter would probably be better for like to support hot beverages and stuff like that, but Chicago winters can be a bit. Am I gonna do a Halloween tea? Absolutely. I actually ordered it, and here's the thing: the Halloween, the 31st, is on a Thursday, but I stream on Friday. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do both a Halloween tea and a tea that's going to kick off the month of November. The month of November, I'm going to do chai teas. And I'm going to pick 4 teas. I already have 2 picked out. I'll pick out 2 more, and we'll take it from there. But yeah, like I've already picked it out. I've placed the order. It's supposed to arrive tomorrow, and I will announce it then. Let me see. Yeah, because wait, no. Next week, the 25th. Yeah, that's. I don't know. We'll see. I'm probably gonna wait until the November 1st to do my Halloween tea. But then that leaves the 25th open. So we'll figure something out, or I'll figure something out, and then I'll get back to you guys. But yes, I will have a Halloween tea, and I will have a Halloween costume because I know you guys loved Mr. T. So that was bad pun. Oh, excuse me. And that was 2 years ago. I didn't do anything last year, did I? No, I did not. I'm gonna have to make up for that this year. Oof. Okay, so I'm gonna open up the floor. Any questions, comments, anything that you want to talk about? Now's the time. Oh my god, I am like stuff. Like this stuff is really hitting the spot, and oof, it's gonna be hard to stay up after this. Granted, it is caffeinated, but caffeine does absolutely nothing for me. But we'll see. Yeah, I'm like running low on things to say because I think we've covered so much of this that I don't know. It's I'm drawing a blank here. You guys ask a question, give me a make a statement, something. A little sign of life would be great right about now. Oh my god. Oh, you think a smoky bacon grilled cheddar cheese Sammy would go well with this tea? That would depend. I mean, as long as it's not too smoky, it should be fine. And keep the cheese itself creamy. there are some pretty hard cheeses that when you melt them, it maintains a certain texture that doesn't quite fit. But if you use something like cheddar, or dare I say it, Velveeta, something nice and creamy would do well with it. Yeah. Oh my God! Yes, yes. Oh, well, I am running low on tea and running low on things to say, so I think I'm going to call it a night. Unfortunately, since this, as I mentioned before, since this is a an employee blend, I'm not going to be able to share the link on Facebook. But if you're in the Chicago area and you want to check out this tea, absolutely do it. It's a wonderful blend, and I love it 100%. All right. So thank you guys for joining me once again. I will post this back. I will be posting this on the Facebook page as well as my YouTube channel. If you have any questions, comments, be sure to ask them, and I'll be happy to answer them for you. I almost forgot one more announcement. We are doing the tea festival in a few weeks. I believe it's the second week of November. So I've already got my ticket. I've signed up for a few Amanda, welcome. Catching the tail end of this. The tea festival, yeah. Okay, so I picked up a couple of tickets to not just the festival, but also like some of the classes and the teachings that they're having. So I'm going to see where I can stream, and I know a couple of the vendors, so I'll see if we can get some of the inside information. I'll talk to I'll talk to some people, see if they're willing to eek just in time for Halloween, right? Yeah, so I'll see if I can do a little bit of streaming from the festival. This will not count as working towards my 100th episode, because I do believe it will be. Yeah, it is before the 15th, definitely, and I'm still marking the 15th, if I don't have any interruptions, as my 100th episode. And I'm going to see. I can probably work the chai theme into it, but yeah, we'll see how that goes. So I have a couple of sips left in my cup. If you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want to talk about right now, it's the time. Is it going to be a great time for it? Yeah. So go ahead, hit me with your best shot. I might still wrap up a little bit early because I am starting to get a little slightly tea drunk too, which is a good thing. I enjoy thoroughly being tea drunk. It's better than any other kind of drunk, at least in my opinion. Oh, anyway. All right, so you guys are was it any special guests coming soon? Probably. I'm not. I don't want to say too much about my 100th episode. It will be unique, that's for sure. It should. I'm trying not to give away too much. It should have a special guest or two. We'll see. Oh, excuse me. We'll see if I can arrange it. But yeah, we will be having a couple of special guests. I'm also still in talks with. Oh, excuse me. With the tea shop, so I'm still waiting to get that done. But yeah. Anyway, Anything else? I still have about 2 or 3 sips left. Mm. Oh my god. Okay, so anyway, looks like I'm going to be wrapping up a little bit early. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will certainly keep you guys posted on the up and coming events. Anything that's down the pipeline, just stay tuned on the community, and I will see you guys next week. Have a good one.